ARADIA, or The Gospel of the Witches, is a book that has just been published by Blackletter Press. So this is Charles Godfrey Leland's original from 1899. And there are really no fresh additions. It's just a very nice new printing of it, should I say, certainly a new edition of it. There are no kind of introductions, modern introductions, other than simply the introduction by the original author, Charles Godfrey Leland. And what this is okay, so Leland met a witch, allegedly at least, according to his introduction, met a witch in Italy, and she transcribed for him in her own handwriting the details of a witch's gospel that had been passed down to her, in the author's words, from greatest antiquity, or something along those lines, deepest antiquity, or something like that. Nevertheless, the text makes allusion to Lucifer, so it can't be that antique. But certainly, there's no reason why it shouldn't be at least a few hundred years old. Why not? If it is not entirely a forgery. That said, reading his preface, there's no reason to believe that he made the whole thing up. Wouldn't be the first or the last time that something like that had happened. But so what we get here is a gospel that suggests that ARADIA, the daughter of Diana, or Artemis, of course, would be the Greek equivalent, would be the female Messiah, and the leader, should I say, of a witch's church, something along those lines. The book makes for very interesting reading, very, very old-fashioned reading. I mean, you have to expect some very unacceptable views, things that would definitely not be okay in a modern text. Lots of racism, lots of anti-Semitism, lots of really, really very problematic stuff, right? Through all of that, you can nevertheless glean some very interesting stories, rituals, spells, backgrounds to just a very interesting perspective of ARADIA, yes, sure, but also Diana as a queen of fairies. Just very interesting stuff, right? But really, you have to kind of get your hands a little bit dirty and pull the gems out of the sewers, to use a metaphor that I coined some time ago in an allegory that you can find on my channel. You can just look up The Sewers, Foolish Fish, The Sewers, for a little story that I wrote that is kind of appropriate to be reading right now, with a bunch of really kind of important occultists coming out with some pretty unsavory things to say. And some of you might be wondering whether it's worth continuing to follow those people. Well, that's kind of what we're seeing in this book. There's plenty of nasty stuff, but if you're willing to wade through the garbage, there are gems here to be picked out, and the gems that are here are actually really good stuff. There's a nice series of appendices towards the back of the book over here, in which Diana is given as a bestower of various boons. So, for example, of the gift of languages. There's a nice one over here for talking about money. How the fairies were born. I think this is the one. So about how a young man asks the moon for money and receives loads of money and then kind of dries up, and then he wonders why. And he's told that, well, it's because you're not doing any work. And there's this really nice little paragraph here that goes like this: fortune gives and fortune takes, and to man a fortune makes, sometimes to those who labour shirk, but oftener to those who work. Rather like that. So there we go. Just to give you a vague idea of what's inside, opening at a random chapter over here, you'll find details. Oh, this is quite nice, actually. Every time a passage directly from the allegedly the writings of this Italian witch have been written, you get the original Italian, and then you get the English translation immediately after. There we go. So you see how that works. Yeah. So that's very nice to have the original as well, so you can compare depending on how fluent your Italian happens to be. There we go, folks. I think that's about what I've got to say about the contents of the book. With regards to the construction of the book, as usual with Black Letter Press's material, we've got a very, very beautiful edition, very, very lovely production. You can see the kind of nice gold stamp on the front there that goes into the design, and then you've got this kind of slightly embossed darker red ink stamped onto. It's paper. But it's it's a nice quality. I have found that it does pick up thumbprints, unfortunately, right? So do be careful of that with your own copy. And as per usual, we have the lovely rounded spine and head and tail bands. No ribbon in this particular one, but the usual lovely quality cream paper. And of course, if you're buying directly through Black Letter Press, you will receive a bookmark at least. And don't forget that if you are a Foolish Fish member through Patreon or through the YouTube memberships, then if you're at least a level 2 member, then you will be able to find a code to get 7% off your purchase. I reviewed Dr. Sasha Chato's Hieroglyphica yesterday. You might want to check out that review if you haven't seen it already. And links to purchase ARADIA will be found in the description of the video. There we go, folks. I hope you enjoyed this review. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe down below if you haven't done so already. If you'd like to have a one-to-one video chat with me, then there are links down in the description to do that, and in the link to the pinned comment, you'll find that as well. If you'd like me to read your tarot, for example, or just give you some advice on what kind of books to read to develop your own personal practice, depending on where you are in your own on your own path, then you can find all those details down below. Thanks ever so much for watching, folks. Do take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I'll see you very soon with another video. Bye-bye.